What if I told you that the very safety you feel in your own home, on your own street, is a carefully constructed illusion? What if the quiet hum of your neighborhood, the familiar faces you pass each day, the very ground beneath your feet, is hiding a secret so profoundly dark and terrifying it could shatter your perception of reality itself? This is not a story unfolding in some distant, forgotten town. This is not a sensationalized headline you can simply scroll past. This is a warning, an urgent message being delivered to you right now, because what authorities are currently uncovering in your immediate vicinity is a truth so chilling, it will force you to question everything and everyone you thought you knew. The investigation is not just intense. It is a spiritual excavation, digging deep beneath the surface of normalcy to expose a rot that has taken root where you least expected it. Stay with me, because this is not just about a police investigation. This is about a battle between light and darkness happening on your doorstep, and by the end of this message, you will understand not only what is truly at stake, but the critical role you are destined to play in it. Your world is about to change forever. Imagine the people you share your world with. The neighbor who offers a friendly wave, the local shopkeeper who knows your order by heart, the friends with whom you've shared your deepest laughter and your heaviest burdens. Now, imagine that behind some of those trusted smiles, a horrifying darkness lurks. What if some of these individuals are living a double life? Their public face a mask for a sinister reality that is now the central focus of a high-stakes, covert police operation. You may feel secure in your daily routines, cocooned in the comforting belief that it could never happen here. But I am here to tell you to think again. The peace you cherish has become the unwilling stage for a drama of deceit and corruption so vast, it defies belief. The police cars you see are no longer just passing through on routine patrol. They are sentinels. Their presence is a sign, their quiet observation a haunt. They are listening to the whispers on the wind, connecting seemingly invisible dots, and assembling a puzzle whose final picture will reveal a level of organized malevolence that thrives in the shadows of your community. What is unfolding is not the result of random chance or isolated misfortune. It is the systematic dismantling of a calculated and deeply entrenched network of illicit activity, an operation that was designed to appear as nothing more than the ordinary, mundane rhythm of life. Those everyday moments that you have likely witnessed and dismissed are now being exposed as crucial pieces of a terrifyingly large web of deceit. Think about it. That strange car, the one that was parked for hours on a quiet residential street, its windows tinted, seemingly empty but exuding an aura of watchfulness. The sudden flurry of late-night activity at that one unsuspecting house, where muffled sounds and fleeting shadows hinted at a world that only awakens when the righteous are asleep. These were not coincidences. These were not figments of your imagination. They were the visible symptoms of a deep-seated disease, a cancer of criminality that has been growing, metastasizing in the dark, feeding on the trust and complacency of good people like you. This network, this hidden empire of shadows, was not just operating in your community. It was preying on it, disrupting the foundational peace and safety that every soul deserves. Perhaps you felt it without ever being able to put a name to it. A subtle shift in the atmosphere of your town. A lingering, unnerving look from a complete stranger that felt less like curiosity and more like an assessment. Conversations that abruptly cease and turn to whispers the moment you approach. An inexplicable and growing police presence in places that were once the very definition of tranquil and normal. The local park, the quiet cul-de-sac, the school playground. These were not just strange occurrences. They were fragments of a story that was being written in the margins of your life. A sinister narrative that has now entangled the very streets you call home. And the consequences of this slow-burning invasion are deeply, irrevocably personal. This is no longer an abstract story about faceless criminals and heroic police officers. This is about the brutal re-examination of your own reality, your environment, your trusted neighbors, your comfortable routines, your entire community. All of it is now shrouded in a suffocating fog of suspicion. You are left adrift in a sea of doubt, forced to ask the most painful question of all: who can I truly, genuinely trust? This grim reality leaves you at a crossroads. While the dedicated officers of the law work tirelessly, day and night, to meticulously piece together this shattering puzzle, your own role in this unfolding drama cannot be overstated. Your spiritual and physical vigilance can make a tangible, powerful difference. This is a moment that demands you pay closer, more intentional attention to the world directly around you. It is a time to stand firm and unyielding in the face of creeping uncertainty. This is not about succumbing to fear. It is about transforming that fear into heightened awareness, into a shield of spiritual discernment. If you believe in the unshakable power of truth, if you believe in the fight to reclaim the peace that is your God-given right, I want you to make a declaration. Drop a comment below with the powerful words, "I refuse to live in fear." This is more than just a comment. It is a spiritual decree. It is you planting a flag for the forces of light. This is your neighborhood. This is your life. This is your community. Do not let this dark story, this encroaching shadow, be the one that defines it. But what happens when the investigation transcends the realm of suspicious strangers and delves into the terrifyingly intimate? What happens when the very people you have placed your unwavering trust in, the neighbors who have shared meals at your table, the friends who have witnessed your life's milestones, even members of your own family, turn out to be not just aware, but actively implicated in this sinister web of betrayal? This is the chilling, heartbreaking reality that is now violently surfacing as the investigation uncovers truths that feel like a dagger to the heart. The horrifying revelation is that those closest to you, the pillars of your personal world, might not be who they appear to be at all. Behind the locked doors of your community, the investigation is not just finding criminals. It is exposing a conspiracy of familiarity. It is drawing direct, undeniable lines between individuals who, for all intents and purposes, appeared to be completely above suspicion. These are not anonymous villains from a distant land. They are the people you thought you knew, inside and out. They are individuals you have welcomed into your home, into your life, into your heart, now unmasked as secret operatives of darkness, meticulously hiding their true nature and their damning involvement from everyone around them. The betrayal is so profound, so seismic, that it threatens to shatter the very foundation of trust upon which your entire community is built. Perhaps your own intuition, that divine whisper from God, has been trying to warn you for some time. Think back. Did you notice a sudden, inexplicable change in someone's behavior? A trusted friend who became secretive and distant? Unexplained absences or sudden, lavish spending that didn't align with their known circumstances? Interactions that left you with a cold, unsettling feeling in the pit of your stomach, a feeling that things just didn't add up? That persistent, nagging feeling was not paranoia. It was your spirit picking up on the frequency of deception, a deception that was hiding in plain sight, masked by years of shared history and feigned affection. Now, as the investigation relentlessly unfolds, those spiritual instincts are being validated in the most startling and devastating way imaginable. With every new name that emerges from the shadows, every familiar face that is linked to this darkness, the sense of safety you once took for granted begins to dissolve, slipping through your fingers like sand. You may find yourself looking at everyone you know with new, suspicious eyes. Who is real? Who is wearing a mask? Who has been harboring these devastating secrets behind a facade of absolute normalcy? The answers are agonizing, but they are also a divine wake-up call, a jarring alarm forcing you to see the hidden realities that often fester when good people choose not to look. This is more than just a police investigation. It is a spiritual revelation. It is a moment of painful, forced enlightenment, one that compels you to confront truths you would much rather avoid but can no longer afford to ignore. Now is the time to take a stand. Do not let the poison of this betrayal consume you or turn your heart to stone. Instead, let it serve as a divine reminder to stay eternally vigilant, to sharpen your discernment, and to fiercely, unapologetically protect what matters most: your peace, your family, and your connection to the truth. The police investigation has now taken a dramatic and decisive turn, uncovering irrefutable evidence that points to something far more sinister, far more organized, and far more evil than anyone had initially dared to believe. This is not about a few isolated crimes or a handful of minor offenses. This is the wholesale exposure of a sprawling, sophisticated network of illegal activities, an underground ecosystem that has been thriving in the shadows of your town, feeding off secrecy, manipulation, and fear. The quiet, tree-lined streets you once saw as symbols of safety and communal trust are now revealed to be the epicenter of a web meticulously designed to exploit, to harm, and to deceive the innocent. At first, the signs were so subtle they were almost invisible to the untrained eye. Strange, unfamiliar cars parked at odd hours of the night. An unusual stream of unknown visitors coming and going from certain homes at all hours. The sudden, unexplained disappearance of once familiar faces from the neighborhood. To most people, including perhaps yourself, these were just fleeting oddities, random and insignificant blips on the radar of daily life. But to the trained eyes of investigators and to the discerning spirit, these were not random occurrences. They were clues. They were breadcrumbs. Each one was a single, critical piece of a puzzle that, when assembled, would reveal a terrifying system built on calculated deception and the heartless exploitation of the vulnerable. Now, that puzzle is nearly complete, and the picture it reveals is the stuff of nightmares. At the very heart of this sprawling investigation lies a deeply disturbing and repeating pattern of behavior. Police have now definitively linked these seemingly random activities to a larger, more calculated, and more ruthless criminal operation. We are talking about intricate financial scams specifically designed to target the most vulnerable members of your community, the elderly, the lonely, the financially distressed. We are talking about illegal trades and trafficking that exploit unsuspecting individuals, luring them into situations from which there is no easy escape. We are talking about actions so malevolent they are designed to systematically destroy the very sense of community that holds a neighborhood together. All of these activities are part of this single, hidden network. These are not just crimes. They are direct spiritual attacks on the safety, the well-being, and the soul of everyone in your neighborhood. What is perhaps even more unsettling is how these demonic operations manage to remain so perfectly hidden for so long. The answer is as simple as it is terrifying. They were hidden behind familiar faces. Trusted colleagues, friendly neighbors, even close friends and family members may have played conscious or unconscious roles in maintaining this elaborate facade of normalcy. As the investigation digs deeper and deeper, a host of agonizing questions begin to surface. How many people knowingly and willingly participated in this web of deceit? How many were unwitting pawns, manipulated and used in a game they never even knew they were playing? The answers are as complex as they are devastating, and the ripple effects of these revelations are profound and far-reaching. The impact extends far beyond the individuals who are directly involved. It erodes the very fabric of trust, the invisible spiritual glue that holds a community together. Suddenly, the places you once felt unequivocally safe, the local park where your children play, the cozy cafe where you meet friends, even the supposed sanctuary of your own backyard, are all cast in a dark, oppressive shadow of doubt. The profound sense of security you have always counted on, the one you believed was unshakable, now feels terrifyingly fragile, as if the very ground beneath your feet is shifting and unstable. This investigation also demands that you, the viewer of God Connection, take a closer, more honest look at your own past experiences. Have you, in the interest of being polite or avoiding conflict, ignored signs that didn't feel right? Have you brushed off unusual interactions or strange occurrences as mere coincidences? These overlooked moments, these dismissed gut feelings, can often hold the keys to unlocking much larger truths. Now is the time for deep, prayerful reflection. If you have ever sensed that something was fundamentally off in your surroundings, trust that feeling. That was the Holy Spirit, your divine intuition, speaking to you. Those instincts are more important right now than they have ever been. The police are working tirelessly, but true, lasting change begins with the spiritual awareness of the community. It begins with you. If you are ready to face these hidden realities and stand on the side of divine truth, comment below. I see the signs now. By acknowledging this together, we create a unified front of light that can begin the work of reclaiming the safety and trust in our neighborhoods, ensuring they are protected for generations to come. The investigation has reached a critical, irreversible turning point. Irrefutable evidence now links people in your neighborhood, people you know, to activities more insidious and diabolical than anyone could have possibly imagined. What began as scattered suspicions and uneasy feelings has now solidified into undeniable, concrete proof of a highly sophisticated operation built on layers of secrecy and mountains of deceit. This is no longer a matter of minor wrongdoing or questionable behavior. This is about a coordinated, strategic effort to exploit the vulnerabilities of an entire community and systematically disturb its peace. Among the most unsettling and soul-crushing discoveries is the direct involvement of individuals you have long trusted without a second thought. The helpful neighbor who always offered to watch your house when you were away. The reliable friend you turned to in times of crisis. The family member who always felt like the bedrock, the unshakable foundation in your life. Now, these are the very same people who are being connected to this hidden, sprawling network of criminal activity. Every new revelation, every confirmed link, shatters your sense of familiarity, leaving you struggling to process a waking nightmare you never thought you'd have to face. The emotional weight of this betrayal is immense, almost too heavy to bear. The cherished memories you hold of trust, of shared laughter, of confiding in these individuals, now feel irrevocably tainted. They are overshadowed by the painful, sickening knowledge of what they were hiding from you all along. This isn't just about the crimes they committed. It is about a deep and profoundly personal violation of trust, a spiritual wound that strikes at the very heart of what it means to feel safe, to feel known, and to feel connected to the people and the place you call home. What makes this reality even more disturbing is the sheer scale of what is now being uncovered. This criminal enterprise is not limited to your neighborhood alone. The evidence trail now points to definitive ties with larger, more dangerous, and more powerful networks operating behind the scenes on a national, and even international, level. These were not just local offenses. They are part of a sprawling, interconnected web of exploitation and manipulation that extends much farther than anyone could have possibly conceived. The place you once considered a safe haven, a sanctuary from the evils of the world, has become just one small link in a chain that is both far greater and far darker than you ever thought possible. And yet, the warning signs were there all along, hiding in plain sight. That strange car parked for hours on end with no logical explanation. The neighbor who suddenly became distant, defensive, and evasive. Those hushed, urgent conversations you may have overheard late at night, thinking they were none of your business. None of these were random coincidences. Each one was a piece of a divine puzzle that, once assembled, reveals a chilling and undeniable truth. It's a sobering reminder that the small, seemingly insignificant moments we so often overlook can actually hold the key to understanding the much, much bigger picture. This moment now calls for your action. The truth is no longer hidden in the shadows, and you have a meaningful, God-given role to play in reclaiming both your safety and your sense of spiritual peace. Stay vigilant. Stay informed through channels like this one that are dedicated to the truth, and above all, never, ever ignore your divine intuition. If this message from God Connection is resonating deep within your spirit, and you feel called to support this sacred work of spreading truth and light, there is a way you can become a partner in this mission. You can help us continue to produce and share these messages by making a contribution. You can give a donation of $10 or any amount you are led to give by using the Super Thanks button right below this video. Your support is more than a donation. It is fuel for this ministry. It helps keep this space flowing with truth, light, and clarity for a world in desperate need of it. And if you are standing with us in this spiritual battle, drop the number 88 in the comments below as a sign of your commitment. Let's keep moving forward together in faith. As the truth continues to unravel with each passing hour, one thing becomes crystal clear. You are not just a bystander in this unfolding story. Whether you fully realize it yet or not, you have a crucial and divinely appointed role to play in shaping the ultimate outcome of this situation. While the authorities may be leading the charge of the investigation, the true, enduring strength of any community lies in the eyes, the ears, and the voices of its people. Justice can only be fully and truly served when every single member of the community remains aware, vigilant, and ready to take action. Otherwise, key pieces of this dark puzzle might remain forever hidden, and the vicious cycle of deception could be allowed to continue, unchecked and unopposed. Your role begins with the profound courage to confront uncomfortable, even painful, truths. Think back again over those moments you might have previously brushed off. The neighbor who suddenly became withdrawn and sullen. The unfamiliar car lingering on your street for hours at a time. The strange, late-night movements where there should have been only silence and peace. These were not just random occurrences. They were potential clues, divine breadcrumbs waiting for a discerning eye to notice and connect them. Trust your gut. That uneasy, churning feeling you experienced wasn't paranoia. It was your God-given intuition, your spiritual alarm system, alerting you that something was desperately wrong and demanding your focused attention. But observation, as critical as it is just the beginning. True vigilance, the kind that brings about real change, means actively and intentionally taking steps to protect your community and to aid the ongoing investigation. Stay up to date with official developments by engaging with local law enforcement updates, attending community meetings where information is shared, and having open, honest conversations with your trusted neighbors. If you have noticed anything suspicious, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, do not dismiss it. Your seemingly minor detail could be the missing link investigators have been desperately searching for, the key that unlocks the bigger picture and brings about real, lasting change. They have been searching for answers for months, even years, tirelessly piecing together clues and following cold trails that often seem to lead nowhere, until now. Your role in all of this extends far beyond simply watching the events unfold from a safe distance. There may come a time when you are confronted with the painful, heart-wrenching possibility that someone you know, perhaps a longtime friend, a trusted neighbor, or even a beloved family member, is directly implicated in these disturbing revelations. Facing such a soul-shattering reality demands immense courage. The kind of courage that asks you to hold steadfast to the truth, even when your heart desperately wants to deny it. These conversations, if and when they happen, will not be easy. You might find yourself wrestling with overwhelming feelings of disbelief, confusion, anger, and profound sadness. Relationships that you thought were unshakable could be shaken to their very core. Yet, it is precisely this willingness to face difficult truths head-on that paves the way for genuine accountability and divine justice. By choosing honesty over denial, you help to heal the collective wounds that such a deep betrayal can inflict upon an entire community. Remember, standing up for the truth is not about seeking revenge or pointing fingers in judgment. It is about protecting the safety, the dignity, and the spiritual integrity of the place you call home. At the same time, it is absolutely essential that you safeguard your own well-being. If you suspect someone's involvement, you must approach the situation with great care and prayer. The best and safest path is to quietly and discreetly report your concerns to the authorities, allowing trained professionals to handle the matter with the necessary sensitivity, expertise, and legal authority. Law enforcement agencies have access to tools, training, and support systems that private citizens simply do not. Confronting a potentially dangerous individual directly, even with the very best of intentions, can sometimes escalate tensions or put you and your loved ones at significant risk. Your safety and the safety of your family must always remain your top priority. Think of your role as that of both a protector and an advocate for the truth. As you process these shocking revelations and navigate the deep uncertainty they bring, it is crucial to recognize the profound and resilient strength that resides within you. Facing a crisis of this magnitude can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing, but it is also a divine opportunity to reclaim your own agency and step into your power. You have the God-given ability to turn fear into fuel for righteous action, to transform doubt into unwavering determination. By refusing to be a passive observer, by staying informed, vigilant, and spiritually connected, you help ensure that your community is not defined by this darkness, but by its incredible ability to rise, to heal, and to rebuild stronger than before. Your voice and your actions matter more than you can possibly imagine. They are essential threads in the fabric of a safer, more resilient neighborhood for everyone. The investigation has now reached a fever pitch. This is the moment of truth, the climax that will be remembered in your community for years to come. After months of painstaking, relentless work, law enforcement agencies have executed a series of highly coordinated raids, arrests, and evidence-gathering operations. The calm, familiar streets of your neighborhood have erupted into scenes of controlled chaos, urgency, and focus. Police vehicles fill the roads, their flashing lights painting the dawn sky. Officers move with tactical precision and unwavering purpose. And the very homes that once seemed so ordinary, so unremarkable, are now at the epicenter of a raging storm. Years of carefully guarded secrets are being violently exposed as mountains of evidence are collected and cataloged. Hard drives, ledgers, hidden cash reserves, incriminating documents. Every single item is another piece of the puzzle, bringing the full, horrifying picture into sharper and sharper focus. Individuals who, until very recently, moved unnoticed and unchallenged among you are now being led away in handcuffs, their carefully constructed lives of lies unraveling in real time in the face of undeniable truth. In the midst of this controlled chaos, an unexpected hero steps forward from the shadows. Perhaps it is a member of the network itself, a conscience-stricken individual who finally decides they can no longer participate in the soul-crushing deception. Or maybe it is a vigilant neighbor, someone like you, who quietly observed, gathered evidence, and found the immense courage to speak up at just the right moment. Their incredible bravery, their choice to break the suffocating silence, becomes the divine catalyst for a major breakthrough in the case. Their testimony not only strengthens the legal case against the perpetrators, but also inspires others to come forward and share what they know, creating a domino effect of truth. This act of courage offers a glimmer of hope to a community that has been shaken to its core. In times like these, it is often the courage of a few that can change the destiny of the many. It is a powerful, living reminder that even when darkness seems all-consuming and overwhelming, the forces of light, truth, and integrity still have the power to prevail. As law enforcement continues to unravel this intricate web of deceit, the full, staggering scope of the operation becomes terrifyingly clear. What was happening in your neighborhood, it turns out, was just one small piece of a much larger, more sinister, and more powerful puzzle. This network of criminal activity is not confined to a single area. It stretches across cities, counties, and even state lines, with proven connections to highly organized regional and national criminal organizations. The sophistication and reach of the operation are staggering. The authorities are discovering links to massive financial scams, human trafficking rings, and other horrific forms of exploitation. Each new revelation deepens the collective sense of shock, but it also reaffirms the critical importance of their work. The arrests being made and the mountains of evidence being seized are not just victories for your neighborhood. They represent a decisive, crippling blow to vast criminal networks that believe they could operate in secrecy forever. These developments prove, once and for all, that no matter how carefully hidden or cleverly disguised, no system of wrongdoing is immune to discovery, and no community is truly powerless when it stands together in unity and faith. However, Even as justice is being served and the authorities work to bring order back to the streets, the profound emotional impact on the community cannot and should not be underestimated. Seeing people you once trusted, people whose faces and voices were intricately woven into the very fabric of your daily life, implicated in crimes of such gravity, is a blow that leaves deep, lasting scars. Memories that once brought comfort and joy may now stir painful feelings of betrayal and loss. Spaces that once felt safe and familiar, the local parks, the neighborhood shops, the quiet sidewalks, may temporarily feel tainted by the long shadow of what has occurred. The ripple effects of this trauma reach deep into homes, into friendships, and into families, sometimes creating painful divides that will take significant time, prayer, and care to heal. But these challenges, as painful and difficult as they are, also reveal the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the divine power of coming together in the face of adversity. This moment is not just the dramatic climax of an investigation. It is a profound turning point for every single person involved. The events that have unfolded serve as a divine wake-up call, a stark and unforgettable lesson in the dangers of spiritual complacency and the immense value of vigilance, honesty, and collective action. They show how easily darkness can creep in when good people look away, but also how quickly that darkness can be dispelled when a community unites in the relentless pursuit of truth and justice. As you reflect on all that has happened, remember that this is about so much more than just the crimes that were committed. It's about the extraordinary power of ordinary people, people just like you, who choose to remain alert, to care for one another, and to act. It's about the difficult but essential process of restoring trust, rebuilding connections, and redefining what it means to feel truly and spiritually safe at home. Your willingness to face the truth, to support your neighbors, and to engage with your community is the beginning of a brand new chapter, one that will be marked by strength, integrity, and unshakable hope. This pivotal moment for your community is not just about exposing secrets or identifying those who broke the sacred trust. It's about the collective act of reclaiming the safety, the trust, and the unity that every community not only desires but fundamentally deserves. Now that the truth has finally been brought into the open light, the real work begins. The focus must now shift away from shock and exposure and move toward recovery, restoration, and the conscious creation of a new, stronger sense of belonging. Your neighborhood, once a sanctuary of trust and comfort, has been rattled to its very core. The betrayal by a few individuals has left wounds that are both visible and invisible, casting a long shadow that touches everyone, from the youngest children to the oldest residents. Yet, within this darkness lies a profound opportunity, a chance to come together, to rebuild stronger foundations, and to ensure that this dark chapter is never, ever repeated. Rebuilding trust is not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual, sometimes challenging, but ultimately empowering process. The very first step is opening up channels of genuine, heartfelt dialogue. It's perfectly natural to feel anger, confusion, and even suspicion towards those around you. The very people you once relied on may now be viewed through a painful lens of uncertainty. But true healing always starts with communication. Do not be afraid to participate in community meetings, to listen with an open heart, and to speak your truth with love. Engage in honest, vulnerable discussions with neighbors who are also trying to process these traumatic events. In these shared conversations, you will find a powerful sense of solidarity, a comforting recognition that others are feeling the same grief, anger, and resolve that you are. Acknowledging the pain, both individually and collectively, is absolutely essential to begin finding common ground. This is how your community can start to move forward together as a unified body, rather than being torn apart by suspicion and fear. Reflection is the next crucial step on this journey of healing. Take the time to truly look back and prayerfully consider what has happened. Were there warning signs that went unnoticed? Were there patterns of behavior that, in hindsight, seemed off? Perhaps there were moments when your intuition, that still, small voice of God, whispered to you that something wasn't right, but you brushed those feelings aside out of a desire for harmony or a fear of being wrong. Use this experience not as a reason to isolate yourself or to live in a perpetual state of suspicion, but as a powerful lesson in vigilance and spiritual awareness. Let it serve as a permanent reminder that your intuition is a vital, God-given tool. Going forward, the ability to recognize and act upon those early warning signs will serve as one of your greatest defenses against any future threats. Resilience lies at the very heart of recovery, and it is here that your community's true spirit will shine its brightest. The trauma, the betrayal, and the loss you have faced are undeniable, but so is the incredible strength and perseverance that has emerged in response. You have looked deception and fear directly in the face, and you have chosen to bring the truth into the light. Let this be a profound turning point, not just for the neighborhood as a whole, but for every single individual within it. Realize that the courage it took to get here has equipped you with the tools and the wisdom needed to face any challenge that may come in the future. The lessons learned in times of great adversity often become the very bedrock of future success and unity. The path to healing is not a passive one. It requires your proactive involvement. Take deliberate, intentional steps to reclaim your neighborhood as a place of safety, hope, and trust. Support local initiatives that focus on community improvement, such as establishing neighborhood watches, creating youth mentorship programs, and organizing activities that bring people together in positive, meaningful ways. Work hand in hand with law enforcement and civic leaders, maintaining open lines of communication so that any lingering concerns or new threats can be swiftly and effectively addressed. Transparency between the community and the authorities is vital to restoring faith in the institutions that are meant to protect you. But just as important as the role you play for the community is the role you play for those immediately around you. Be a source of support, kindness, and encouragement for friends, neighbors, and even strangers who are struggling to cope. When you reach out with a helping hand or a listening ear, you help to weave the threads of a stronger, more resilient community fabric. This moment in your community's history is about more than just recovery. It is about liberation and the powerful reclaiming of your God-given power. The truth, as painful as it may have been to confront, is now the cornerstone upon which a brighter, more secure future can be built. By embracing it and building upon it, you're not just protecting your neighborhood, you're empowering yourself and everyone around you to live with confidence and without the oppressive shadow of fear. Healing takes time, and the scars, whether emotional or otherwise, do not disappear instantly. Yet, each new day brings a little more strength, a little more hope, and a little more trust. As you and your neighbors support each other, the sense of unity will grow stronger, transforming this dark chapter into an inspiring story of resilience, unity, and renewal. The journey does not end with the revelation of truth. In fact, it marks the beginning of a powerful new chapter for both your community and for you, personally. The shadows of betrayal and deceit no longer have the power to harm in secret. Their exposure means that they have lost their hold. While the emotional wounds will certainly take time to heal, they also stand as a testament to the immense courage it took to face reality, to confront the uncomfortable, and to refuse to remain silent. This is your time to stand firm. The safety and trust of your neighborhood rely on people like you. Individuals who refuse to look away, who are willing to confront challenges head-on, and who are deeply committed to fostering justice and unity. You have now seen firsthand the devastating consequences of complacency and the very real dangers of ignoring those inner, divine alarms. Now, you possess the power and the sacred responsibility to make sure those mistakes are never repeated. Carry this knowledge with pride, for this knowledge is true empowerment. Staying informed, vigilant, and proactive doesn't just protect you. It extends a spiritual shield of protection over everyone you care about. Let your instincts continue to guide you. Trust in your own awareness, and make it your personal mission to support the ongoing safety and well-being of your community. Never underestimate the profound influence your example can have on others. As you continue to be a beacon of resilience, share your journey and inspire those around you to do the same. Whether it's comforting a grieving neighbor, volunteering at a local community event, or simply offering a sincere word of encouragement, every single act of kindness and strength contributes to the collective healing process. The road ahead will no doubt have its challenges. There may be moments of frustration or setbacks, but every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. With truth as your foundation, hope as your compass, and faith as your shield, there is no challenge that you and your community cannot overcome together. Let this be the beginning of a safer, stronger, and more divinely connected neighborhood, one where every individual feels valued, protected, and empowered. In the end, no matter how long or how dark the night may seem, truth and unity, powered by faith, will always triumph over darkness. And by walking this journey together, you ensure that the light within your community will only shine brighter with each new day. That's all for today. Dear Father, I come before you and I pray for the growth of my faith and the faith of everyone watching. Help me, and help us, to trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing that you will never harm me. I stand on your promise that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not of harm, to give me a good future and an expected end. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the mighty and matchless name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your unconditional love and your divine provision. I am eternally grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance that you bring. If this video from God Connection resonated deep within your spirit, please show your support by liking this video. And most importantly, subscribe to the God Connection channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss a message. Please share it with those who you feel need to hear this urgent message. Leave a comment below about your own journey and how you are preparing to stand for truth in your community. If you feel led to support our work and help us spread these messages of light and truth to a wider audience, please consider contributing through the Super Thanks button below this video. A gift of $10 or any amount God places on your heart helps us to continually improve our content and offer you the very best. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are one of God's chosen ones. We have truly enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your divine destiny with courage. We'll see you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the enlightened wisdom of God Connection.